How you doing, YouTube? It's your boy Casino G. You have tapped into Casino G TV. Now, you know this is too real for TV. That's why we got to keep it in these YouTube streets. Now, you know, Charleston White talking about Max B, how he got out, and how, you know, down south don't rock with his music. He's not part of the down south culture. Understandable. If you really know how the down south to the west coast to the east coast, we all mess with different type of music with the culture. You feel me? So we're gonna get to this reaction, see what Charleston had to say. I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, and all that good stuff. You rocking with your boy Casino G with the Casino G TV. We're gonna keep it in these YouTube streets. Let's rock it.
Harlem legend. He did 17 years. Big East Coast star. Do you know any Max B records? Do you know who he is?
I never heard of him. I'm 48 years old. I am a hip hop expert. His music has never been played outside of New York. We don't know who Max B is. Don't know who he is, what he home for. Don't know what he was in prison for. Nigga, we from the South. And in the South, we've never connected to anything outside of Jay-Z, Nas, Jada Kiss, Biggie, LL Cool J, Max B's and Jim Jones. I fuck with Jim Jones by way of Dipset now. Nigga, it was more Jewett.
Now, I get what Charleston White is saying. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I have family down south. You know, and I started naming a lot of artists, rappers, and everything else, and they don't know who they are. You feel me? But they're big on the West Coast, because I'm from the West Coast. They're big on the West Coast. And down south and probably New York, they probably never even listened to their music or never heard of them. So I understand what Charleston White is saying. He's naming artists that's from the East Coast that's mainstream. So, you know, I get it.
Santana was the Jim and the rest of them niggas was background singers. You know, if Joel wasn't, Cameron came to, Cameron had the niche with the pink fly. The rest of them was just props. Yeah, they were fly in Harlem. But to the rest of the world, them niggas props, homie. That's why we looking at like Big Dog Jim. Nigga, you was a prop. We ain't now a song we can sing other than ball and nigga, we don't know none of the nigga songs. We ain't never heard bumping them out in the trap other than Dipset. And Joel was the nigga. So
That's
I don't
true.
know what these niggas, but you know the has been. So I tell young niggas, you got different category of niggas. You got used to be niggas, used to be, still ain't shit. That's why he still talk about who he used to be. You got the has-been niggas. The has-been niggas, the Jim Jones and the Max B, them niggas back in the day. They ain't that today, and they still trying to live like that's the has-been, don't want to retire.
See, and this is going to be my point. And this is why I give E40 so much respect. Because E40 is one of the oldest rappers in the game that stays relevant. He knows how to switch up his flow, stay relevant. He's always on the newest wave. He knows what he's doing. E40 is always on point, one of the oldest rappers, still doing his thing. Shout out to E40, man.
I mean, it's hard to say Max B's a has-been. He did 10 years.
Being in prison for 17 years is a has-been. Has-been. You got 17 years of doing nothing in the world. You think you supposed to quantum leap in today's society, and you still that same. Big Meech couldn't do it. Bobby Shmurda couldn't do it. What makes you think Max B gonna do it?
That's kind of true, and I'm gonna say this too. You know, in the West Coast, we have a famous, underground famous rapper that, you know, on the West Coast, you know about X-Rated. Now, everybody knows X-Rated got out the pen. And after he got out the pen, no hate on that man, you know what I mean? I grew up listening to his music in the 90s and everything else. But after he did all them years, he got out, he jumped back on his music, but it was not the same. You know, keep it 1,000, it was not the same. You know what I'm saying? So I get what Charleston White's saying when he says a has-been. You jump out and you think you're about to have the same flow, the same, vibe when the times has changed. It ain't gonna be that, man. So Charleston White's keeping it real. It is what it is.
Well, I think he gonna do it. He's much more presentable and articulate and giving interviews. He sound like he spend more time developing and elevating and growing his brain and his mind. Rather the rest of it come out delayed, seem like. They can't get in front of the camera. And articulation and conversation is everything.
Right away when he got out of jail, he hit the ground running.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to show some growth. If you can't come out and talk, then you leave the people back where you are. So they're gonna compare where you are, where you was, and who you are today, and kill who you are today because you don't look like what you was. Pooh Shiesty don't struggle with it. All of them, because these people wait to hear. They want to hear the story. They want to hear your journal. They want to hear what you done went through. And you leave the people hanging when you do that. That's why my mama would say shit like, son, you overcome everything by the power of your testimony. You overcome everything by the power of your testimony. So in every environment, in every entity I enter into, I find an ear that you would say the king's ear to go tell my story to. I win people over by telling my story. What I've been through, where I've gone through, what I've had to overcome to get to where I am today, to seem so intelligent. So homie, that's a movie if you know how to talk. And people like to watch movies. So he's very articulating.
See, I'm gonna stop it right there. Okay. Well, I feel like Charleston White, he's not really trying to talk down on Max B or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? He's how he's getting respect. He got out, hit the ground running. Most guys that go to the pen, we do that. Even if it's in a bad, negative way or a positive way. Usually guys get out of the pen and they hit the ground running. You know what I mean? Gotta get this paper. But what he's saying is, when you're trying to depend on music, you're not a mainstream rapper. And you've been gone for 17 years. And sometimes your flow is not the best, but sometimes when guys get locked up, the flow do get better. Cause you know, they've been through some things, a little stress, some, you know, songs hit different. You feel me? But what I'm gonna say is, you know, I don't think Charleston White's really trying to come at him negative. He's just trying to spit some facts out. You feel me? Like, he's keeping it real. Down south, we don't listen to that music. But they ain't running around in Timbs. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I get the point of view of Charleston White saying. But everybody knows Charleston White, he's gonna say some out of pocket shit later down the way. Cause this is not the whole video. You feel me? It's a little piece of it. You feel me? But I just want to wrap this up. But I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, all that good stuff. If you rock with Casino G TV, cause you know it's always too real for TV. So you know we gotta do it in these YouTube streets. Tap in.